Stop Working Broke podcast, hosted by Chad Murray. If the anxiety never shuts off, you're buried in jobs, chasing checks, and your phone goes quiet the second you stop pushing, you're not alone. Here, you'll get real clarity and straight advice to calm the chaos, fix the systems, tighten your team, and create steady leads. Because freedom starts when the anxiety stops running the business. Let's get going. Thank you for coming to Stop Working Broke podcast. This is Chad Murray. I am here today. Today's episode is a special episode. Let me tell you, it really is. Steve Sobczak, saying it correctly in Polish, is what I just learned how to say it correctly. Close enough. Is here today. And what we're going to be discussing is a unique story that we both have. And it's going to be about mindset and accountability. And we're going to share our story about weight loss, fitness, and just how it changed our freaking lives. And so, hey, Steve.
How you doing, Chad?
It's just a conversation here, brother. So tell everybody your story. And then I have actually not even talked about my story on the podcast. So people that listen to it who don't follow me have no idea what I've done. But I'm going to let you go first. So let's hear your story.
All right. Started back in COVID, truthfully. I right now, actually today, I lost 158 pounds in about 5 years' time. It's been amazing. I would say right before COVID, I was struggling with my weight. I was struggling with alcohol. I was struggling with life. I was struggling with business. Just business was difficult. You know, like anything, middle age, just beat up, transition, kids growing up, kids growing out of the house, just transitional life. And my 40s were tough. Business was always good. I can't complain about it. We had a strong business. It supported our family, put kids through college, supported a very healthy lifestyle. And, but it was hard, typical business. I didn't run it, it ran me, and I would say right before COVID, we were having our best year ever. And I'm outside the metro New York area, Connecticut, and the shutdowns hit hard. And I lost everybody. Everybody quit except for one guy, one lead tech and one helper. Even my office quit. And there was threats of everything shutting down. I live in Long Island. My business is in Connecticut, so even getting to work was problematic. Talks of not even able to get across the bridges to get to work. So it's just a lot of stress. And at that point, it got even worse because I just started eating compulsively. I stopped drinking. So, that had kind of become a crutch to me, at night, just coming home, drinking too much. And then,
I get it.
I didn't want to fall into that at that point because, everything shutting down. I mean, that would have been a death sentence. So I was working from home and my kids got, school shut down. So they were home. My wife was a nurse. She was working on the COVID unit at a state hospital, which was COVID Central. So it was really scary.
Especially in New York. You guys are
killing. It wasn't one of those.
They were killing everybody in New York, old folks home and stuff, right?
It
was bad.
Yeah, I wasn't one of those COVID guys. I wasn't terrified of it, but I was scared of the whole situation. You know what I mean? In the beginning, it was scary. And being overweight, being fat, I was about 300 change. It was killing fat people. Period. Whatever you thought was going on there, it was taking guys like me out. I was home. I was trying to have a life for the kids. So, we were cooking meals and trying to, have some sort of semblance of reality. And instead of drinking at night, I was wolfing down Ben and Jerry's and I started gaining a lot of weight. I probably gained close to 50 pounds during that whole crisis. I topped out about 347 pounds. Good news, the business survived, barely. But we did make it through. It was funny during that time in the industry. We were both in the chimney industry. If
Yeah,
you
he's in the
remember.
chimney industry, everybody. If you're, because a lot of people aren't in chimney industry listening to me now too. So yeah, he's a chimney buddy of mine.
Gotcha. We had all those Zoom meetings and stuff, and we're talking about, staying afloat and everything. And everybody's talking about how great their business was doing it. And I was dying. I was literally dying. And I was killing myself and just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I had a business coach at the time, and he's like, work the crisis, try to make something good out of it, build your business, go through it. And the business was not doing well. And I was just trying to survive. And I was really leaning into, just getting sober at the point. And I didn't care if the business was even stayed afloat. I just wanted to stay alive myself. But I was unraveling, and I was just digging into food completely. But I did get sober, which is good. You know what I mean? And we did keep the business afloat. And but I had a massive, massive eating disorder at the end of it, and I did have major health problems at the time. My heart, major blood pressure issues. Cardiologist, pre-diabetic, depression. And I think
Did
if
you
I
ever get Did you ever get COVID?
I did eventually. It really was just a bad cold for me.
Yeah,
Everybody,
well,
I was
well,
freaking
you know
out.
my story, I think. I mean, I
Yeah,
almost died. I went in the hospital, and luckily, I was working out, and at that time, I was only, well, for me, I mean, the doctor said he never measured anyone when I went in the compression chamber how much bone mass I have. So me at a 260 I was pretty fit. I was still overweight, but I was only 260 at that time. And if I hadn't been working out for like 2 years, and I was still on my way down, but that if I had been what happened after COVID and ballooned up to 333, I would have died. Or I have no doubt, had I hit a year and a half ago, if I had gotten COVID back then, what they knew at the time, I'd have died. There's no doubt. Anyway, I
wow.
didn't want to interrupt that
No,
story, but
it's
keep
fine.
going, keep going.
I forgot that that actually happened to you. I remember you talking about it. I remember hearing about that.
Yeah,
I was lucky, when I did get it, I had already started my fitness journey, but I was very infantile in it. I mean, I was walking, I was barely doing push-ups. I mean, I was doing a
yeah,
little bit. I had lost a little bit of weight. I mean, it was a big concern. Truthfully, a lot of the weight loss started for me. It was like, I need to lose weight. My wife was on me big time. I mean, we were worried about getting even vaccinated because some of the stuff was cardiac. They were talking about cardiac issues with some of these
yeah,
shots. It was like,
yeah,
you know, there was concerns about that.
yeah.
So that was kind of the thing that really spurred me, like get my health under control, because if I got it, I'd get sick. And when I did get it, I mean, I was lucky enough that it was mild, you know, um, and it passed. Luckily, I got it once other again later on, and luckily it was mild again, and I was much healthier at the time. But
So you made the decision to 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 not because I'm going to talk to fat guy here, or
sure,
former
sure,
fat guy to fat guy. You made a decision. You're tired of being fat,
yeah,
but you really made the decision because I bet you made that decision 5 billion times before,
yeah.
right? But this time, something stuck.
But it didn't really stick at first. I had made that declaration, like you said, a million times, and
Yeah, but
and I
then
equated.
that was one of those billions. Eventually, even if you lost 20, 30 pounds, finally something stuck. What was that? What
What
happened then?
I equate it to like when I quit drinking, because you hear about something when somebody quits drinking or any addiction.
Yeah,
I'm quitting drinking. They make these big testaments, and they go back. And it's like anything, because it's very similar. An eating disorder is very similar to
100%.
alcohol. And I had said that I was trying to diet, and I had probably lost 20 pounds. And a friend of mine had given me a card to a weight loss clinic. And I remember looking at it and thinking it was like the Holy Grail. And I went there, and it was one of these hack shops where they give you those shots.
Yeah,
And I went there, and I had thought that maybe it'd be a nutrition clinic and they would teach me about things, and it was disappointing. And I
yeah,
knew what it was. And
yeah.
and here's your shot. And it was like overweight soccer moms and overweight business guys, take this shot and you'll get better. And I didn't care. And truthfully, at that point in my life, I needed it,
Yeah.
because I was going to die. I was going to eat myself to death with whatever fast food crap and whatever ice cream and Doritos, and I probably would end up starting to drink again because of horrible self-esteem and depression, because when you're that big, I mean, I couldn't even climb my stairs. It was embarrassing, and I was always in pain. My knees hurt, my back hurt, and I did take them, and I started losing weight more, and it was quick at first, and they sell you a lie
Oh
because
yeah.
you start taking them, and you think you're losing weight, and you continue to eat like shit. You continue to eat the same things, and I would get nauseous and stuff like that because what they do, they slow your digestion down, they curb your cravings, but you eat that crappy food, your body revolts it, and
Yeah.
and your digestion doesn't work.
It's just not
Um,
sustainable. It's good for people to start.
it's
If people need that nudge. I mean, I don't, I mean, we'll get into my story a little bit. I'm natural. So I tried it, hated it, didn't work. Went another 6 months after that of failing. And then
yeah,
finally, I'll tell my story after we're done with yours,
sure.
but, and did that. So, I mean, you're right. There is a place for this kind of stuff. I'm still concerned with the like you said with the COVID shot, what are the side effects or the long term effects? Is they
A
don't
lot
know
of side
yet.
effects.
And there are a lot of side effects coming out with blindness and stuff, and that are people are having with that. And which but hey, if
And
that's
people
it's
don't
either you're
talk
gonna
about it.
die anyway, so you might as well try to die
That
skinny
was my thought.
and later, right? And I get it,
That was
that
my thought.
mindset. So let's get into it. Let's hurry up this story and get you to
Sure.
where you are now. So
Well,
what happened?
it's funny
What's
because
going on?
when I went through that and I started doing the whole fad diet routine,
Yeah,
and my daughter-in-law at the time, my son had joined the service, and she had it was a girlfriend, a girlfriend at the time. She had went headlong into fitness, and she's like, "Don't do that. It's ridiculous. Stop at the fad diets. You just need to eat better."
yeah.
And I'm glad she stopped me because she had hooked me up with a nutritionist, and I had called her friend, this girl Rachel, and she had taught me how to eat properly. And she tried to get me off the shots and everything, and I just didn't listen to her. But she had taught me how to eat properly. She taught me how to use MyFitnessPal. She taught me about macros and calories and protein. All right, which is one of those bad things about those shots because people take those shots and they just malnutrition, they starve themselves. So when you lose weight that fast, and this is something that I really taught myself over time. When you lose weight that quick, you're not only losing fat, you're losing all your muscle tissue, you're losing all your connective tissue, your joints are failing, your bones are failing. So by learning nutrition, I stopped that failure process in your body. I was able to counteract that by weight training, by building muscle at the same time, protecting my joints by eating properly. So my joints weren't failing, my tendons weren't failing, and lifting weights. So I was building muscle, protecting all that stuff at the same time, and preserving my body. So all those negative side effects, as far as physically, were counteracted by being proactive with my health. And most people don't have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So other side effects aside with that, as far as the body cannibalizing itself with those shots, I didn't have that situation because I was proactive.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, once I started working that nutritionist, once I started losing weight, I realized I needed to start training. And I had signed online with a group. It was an online physical group. And there's so many people out there like that do these Zoom meetings and you get on, it's a support group, like a 12
Yeah.
step program for
Right.
fat guys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it was tailored to people like me. And mine was more military focused. It's a group called the Agogi. And really, it saved my life. It was geared towards kind of veterans. You know what I mean? And not exclusively, but it was male oriented. So it was a group of guys very much like me. And they would give me workout programs and food programs. And I realized I couldn't do any of it. You know what I mean? And it was like, oh my God. I tried to do this 30-day program with them and I figured I'd win because I was taking the shots and I was losing weight. And I
But
realized I
you're the
wasn't
weakest
losing
guy in the
weight.
room, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't
Yeah.
losing weight. I couldn't do the workouts. I couldn't figure out the food. I needed coaching. So I
Yeah.
signed on with them and they said, okay, this is what you do. And what they really talked to me about is why do you want to lose weight? And at first it was like, I just want to lose weight for whatever stupid
I'm
reason.
fat. I want to lose weight.
Yeah, but that's not enough because when
Right.
things get hard and you have a stressful day, that bag of chips or ice cream is it calls you. It's comfort. Just like alcohol was comfort at one time, or cigarettes could be comfort. And we had these meetings, we talked about that. And really I established a new why in my life of why I wanted to be healthy. And truthfully, it's funny, just by saying my family. It's not enough. I needed to really iron it down to an exact. And by talking to these guys and having these accountability partners, I mean, my why then is still my why now, 5 years later. I have a young daughter. My boys are grown. They're both in the military. They both moved out. And, I'm expecting a grandchild now, which is another reason to be healthy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's major to me. But I want to be the example of a husband to my young daughter. You know what I mean? And that man is not somebody that's going to sit on a couch like a bum. Not that being overweight is that, but the way I was living, coming home with a six pack and fast food takeout, watching TV till 1 o'clock in the morning was a bum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I come home now with intention. I come home now and I have a routine I got to do, and that includes, whatever I'm doing to set myself for the next day, being fit, being intentional, running my business, and taking care of myself. And it's not about push-ups. It's not about a six-pack abs. It's not about, eating perfect. It's not about being perfect. It's about being a better version of myself than I used to be. Where before, what my life was go out, get a paycheck, and then live like a pig. You know what I mean? And
It's
that's
funny
not
the why. I don't I mean interrupt, but the why. And I coach this. Everyone has the why of their family, like you said earlier, the why of something else. The true why is you, is yourself, because you can't support everybody else if you're not taking care of yourself.
exactly.
So the real why comes to you. It's like everyone tries to do it for someone else, and that's part of the reason why they fail. Because if you're not doing it for you and you're doing it for everybody else, you don't really have the real why. Let's just face it, we're human beings and we are self absorbed people. So you have to bite into that. And when you understand that, no, you're not doing it for your family, you are, but you're not because you are the one that looks in the mirror. You're the one that ate the fucking Twinkies. You're the one that didn't walk. You're the what you call bum sitting at 1 o'clock. That's you.
Yeah.
And when you don't make the why about you so that you can be there for them, that's just why people have all the fad diets and this, that, and
Yeah.
they gain weight. And like I was on the yo-yo gain weight and lose weight, but you know what? I'd always gain a little more. And then my base would come down, gain a little more, lose, I'd gain 40, lose 20, gain another, but then I'd still have that net 20. And then
Yeah.
I kept going up.
Yeah.
And if you watch the timeline of my 29 years of owning a chimney company, about 5 years in, I was gaining 10 pounds a year.
Easily.
And but that would be the net gain. So I might go a year and a half. I went through one little spurt. I don't even remember 2012, maybe 2010, where I lost like 50 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. And then I got, but I didn't. You said the biggest thing is nutrition. So like, what happened to me? So guys, I was up to 333, and Alan Rush, who is the one of the famous and awesome sales trainers in the chimney industry. We were at Orlando for the big national convention 2 years ago, and we were out with a mixed group that we were in or something at Hibachi, and I got set at the corner end, and and Alan came out and took a picture of the table at the end, and it was the fattest picture I've ever been in. I and it's funny. Alan came up to me. I just saw him last week again. He's like, I know I took that picture, and I saw, oh my God, how fat you are. But even when I took the picture and look, I never looked at you like that. I never thought of you being like this fat or all that. And maybe that's just because of my personality, and stuff. I help people, but I'm like, well, Alan, thank you for that picture because that picture.
Yeah.
If I hadn't sat there, it still took me 6 months, and that picture festered and
Mm-hmm.
festered. So what happened with me? It was funny. I was seeking it out. I was trying to take the shots. None of it worked. I was trying to work out. I mean, I used to love the gym. I still don't. Now I don't love it as much. But I was on a Zoom call. I own a marketing company with my daughter, and every once in a while, we'll turn on ads, and I'll go a week or two selling, trying to get 3 or 4 more clients. And I got this. This was last summer, or no, no, no. I guess that's been over a year and a half ago. Um, I got this. I got on the Zoom call with this gentleman. We were talking, and I don't remember what. I don't know if he just flat out came out. I don't know, but he had said something about how he had lost 130 pounds. Look, like you, I would have never guessed if I didn't know you before that
Sure.
this is what you that you were ever that. And with this dude, he looked clean skin. I mean, he looked skinny. He's like, I just lost 130 pounds. And I'm like, no way. Shows me a picture and I'm like, holy shit. And I mean, he was fat. He was fat. And he was not a good fat. He was a dopey fat. And he goes, "Hey, I'm going to send you this book." And he literally goes, "What's your address?" And he buys me this doctor's book, which probably I think it cost him like $12. And it got here. I'm trying to think. Do I have it right now? No, I don't. Anyway, so it's called The Plurday Effect by Dr. David Plurday. And I read the whole book, front to cover. I mean, and it is a hard book because it's about the fat cell.
Sure.
And it teaches you he has done all these studies on the fat cell. What will keep it open? What will keep you in ketosis? And if you eat one bad thing, it closes the fat cell for 3 days. Have you ever noticed? That's something you just kind of go off your diet? How it
Yeah.
takes you 3 or 4 days to lose weight? Well, that's it. And I'm telling you, he's dead freaking on. Because if I go have a chocolate bar, chocolate's not too bad, dark chocolate. If I go eat a piece of bread, it's hard. It takes 2 to 3 days for me to start losing weight again. Just
Yeah.
one freaking piece of bread will do that to you. And
Sure.
so he teaches you how the what is the foods for fat loss and the foods to stay away from. And believe it or not, there are vegetables that are superfoods that are terrible for fat loss. Carrots are terrible. Like I was just telling Dave Bancroft, Sweeperman.
Hmm.
I was because I sent him the book, or he bought the book, or whatever, and I told him to read it. And like my mother, I was telling him this story this week. They only read half the book,
Yeah.
and they didn't do anything. I'm like, what? And I caught him on it. Like he goes, I read the book. He's from Boston. Like you didn't. I go, you didn't read the fucking book, otherwise you wouldn't have that belly right there. And he kind of laughed. And I said, you only read half of it, didn't you? I said, let me guess. You stopped at the charts halfway through that had the menu and the foods. He goes, yes. I go, that's exactly what my mom did. You didn't, you read all the science, but you didn't read the stories and what to do and how to implement it. I said, read the rest of the damn book. First week on the book, before I even called the doctor, I did the diet religiously and it was easy for me to do. I didn't really do, I just kind of changed a little. It was tweaking. It wasn't like this dramatic thing. I lost 25 pounds in
Okay.
1 week. And of course, you had the water weight, and you had the water weight and stuff. And I started to walk, which I could barely walk literally a block.
Yeah.
I mean, it was rough. But my wife and I forced me to walk a mile, and we sat down. And then within that so we walked every day. By the end of that week, we were walking 3 miles, and I was dying. But we were sitting on benches, and we were, by 3 or 4 weeks, I was doing the whole thing, and still can walk. I could walk 40 miles now if I wanted to. But so I lost that weight, and then guess what happened? Didn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Gained 20 of it back within 2 weeks. And I just went, F this. And I called the doctor. He's in Chicago. And he said, you need to fly up here. I'm going to do some tests on you. We're going to talk and I'll show you the program. I'm like, well, I don't want to just fly up there. How much is it? And he wouldn't tell me. So I'm like, okay. So I flew up there and they put you in this barometric training where it looks like an egg, naked. and it measures all of your weight, your fat, your blood, your body, your brain, your organs, uh, bone density, everything. It's super cool. And when he gets done, we're in the office looking at the results. He goes, I have had 30,000 people in that thing. You have the densest bones I've ever seen. And I go, so I'm a Neanderthal? My family's kind of Neanderthals. He goes, no, but you have, so a person like you at your height should probably weigh around 185, maybe, with your bone density and all the charts, you should be around 205. I said, I've never had a doctor tell me. A doctor, doctors they always just say, for my height, because I'm 5'7", like you should weigh 155 pounds. It's like, I can't fucking weigh, I haven't weighed that since I was in third grade, And so, but yeah, so we started and I paid for his well overpriced one-on-one coaching. And and then it was a text every day, a meeting every week, and I ran him through the ringer because then all of a sudden I was in the middle of turmoil with my chimney business for a few months, and then I sold it. And we just ended our program a couple days ago, February, and I miss him a little bit. I don't miss paying him anymore, so that's been nice. But yeah, I mean, but I had to. I'll tell you, the yo-yo diet and where it comes on is that yo-yo diet. You're always seeking how to eat.
Yeah.
Like you can go work out, you can do it, or even you're not, but you're always seeking like, what can I eat?
Sure.
What fad diet can I do? And I'm not on a diet. I didn't change my stuff. Like I don't eat potatoes much. I mean, if we go out, if I have someplace that's really nice that has mashed potatoes, I'll have a little bit. Like I think last week I had a half a cup of potatoes just to get it in my to taste it. But no carrots, and some other stuff, but more greens, all protein, chicken. I mean, your normal chicken, steak,
Sure.
fish, um, and dark chocolate stuff and peanut butter and stuff like that. I mean, this stuff doesn't close the fat cell. Now,
Yeah,
as soon as I get to my 205, and I'm actually going for 195, I want to see if
of
I can hit
course.
195. You can start eating some of that stuff, because you're not no longer do you care about loss, you care about maintenance.
Exactly.
And you're in maintenance mode. I'm not there yet. I've still got um I have 31 pounds to get to my goal, to the doctor goal weight, not my
Yeah.
goal weight, the doctor goal weight, which is 205. And which the greatest thing about it is you know how you used to like just fucking pig out and then you just felt like crap. Now I don't do that anymore, which is nice. That's gone. But I'm not going to tell you I haven't gorged just a little bit,
Of course. You gotta live.
but I don't feel guilty at all anymore. Because it's like, all right, yeah, I ate a little bit too much last night. Boom, 2 days later, I'm about right back where I was, or I even lost a pound. So
Yeah.
I don't have any guilt because God, this is okay. If you're a skinny person listening to this, well, fuck you for one thing. But but
They
but
don't understand. They'll
yeah,
never understand.
but if you're a heavy person or you've had a weight problem, you're gonna understand this. It's a living entity in your head 24/7
It's an
thinking
addiction.
about your weight, no matter what you're doing.
It's the
It's
same
there.
as addiction.
It's there.
It's
I mean, and
drug,
it's
alcohol. It's no different.
yeah,
I've struggled with alcohol my entire life. It's the same.
yeah. What's funny thing is, I've never maybe a binge guy, but I've never really had a problem with it. I don't have to drink or anything, and since I've been on this, I can have a couple beers. And it was about 3 or 4 years ago. I kind of got to the point where it was not like that old, can only eat one potato chip. I
Sure.
could only drink one beer. I can just drink a beer. So I've been able to have that mind control over my of drinking alcohol and stuff because I mean it's just never really been that important to me. And
Sure.
coming from a half Texas, half Wisconsin culture, are you kidding me? Everybody wants to drink beer
Sure.
all the time. It's like, okay, cool. So I just take my water. Like we have cigar night every Friday night. Everybody's drinking whiskey and a couple of beers. Sometimes I'll take a whiskey or a scotch or a beer, but most of the time I have my water. I don't drink anything. And you know what? Nobody even knows, and no one even cares. No big deal. Now,
It's funny.
in 1 second, at NC's convention, the last night was rough because at the bar, everyone kept buying me beers. So that was rough, and I drank them, but it is what it is. Okay, what were you gonna say?
I mean, it's funny. I mean, I don't drink because I don't drink. I can't drink. But if you, I mean, with the way I eat and everything now, if you're tracking what you're putting in your mouth, you could eat or drink whatever you want. I choose not to drink because I can't drink.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what's amazing. I mean, I eat whatever I want whenever I want. I just track it. We went away for a week, and I am on a cut right now. I do martial arts. I'm trying. This year's a big thing. I'm trying to do tournaments. Okay, and I'm trying to make a weight class. So I got hurt this year trying to compete for the New York Marathon. I tore my hamstring, and I
I
gained a
saw
bunch of
that.
weight. Like you said, quickly. I gained 10 pounds in a weekend because it's just
Ooh.
comfort. And I ended
Yeah.
up gaining like 40 pounds before that speech I had to do in Puerto Rico. And it was a bad
Really? Oh, I didn't attend. So
40
yeah.
pounds.
I'm speaking next year, they said.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
good for you, man.
Yeah.
And I ended up losing 50 because I just doubled down on my program.
Yeah.
And I lost more weight than I even came into. But, you know, I went away to this thing, National Guild, and we went to Kansas City. I knew I was going to have barbecue, and I was not even going to be worried about it. And I barely tracked. My trainer, we talked about it because I have an accountability partner with there. And
Yeah.
I went to town. I gained 3 pounds. That's it, in an entire week. And I was in the airport, and I was like a college student in there. When I got off in JFK, I was annoyed about something. I went to Starbucks, and I said, there was some lady in front of me got me annoyed. I said, do you have cookies or do you have brownies? He took both out of the case, put them both on the counter. Instead of saying I'd only have one, he's like, you want both? Yeah, I'll have both. I ate them both before I walked away from the counter like a fat bastard. And I was annoyed with myself. I,
Yeah.
I told my trainer I wasn't going to weigh in until Monday. He called me a bitch. I owned it. So
Yeah.
I gained 3 pounds, right? And I
Yeah.
got this tournament in 2 weeks. I'm like close to weight. And I get on the scale this morning, 189. So I lost the 3 pounds plus another pound just by going back on program, not obsessively, just by tracking my calories.
Yeah.
So it's funny, you go through this situation where you actually learn how to eat properly. And for me, I mean, it's different than what you did. I just track my food and I put it in my calculator, and it's not even obsessive. I weigh my food, I track it, and now I've done it so long that I can look at food on a plate. I know what it is.
Yeah, I
And if
did that when I
I
lost my
taste it,
50 was tracking. So I
uh-huh.
don't remember what I had to do it, but I still have that app, but I don't ever use it. And and I'm lazier than you are. I don't want to track shit. I just want to eat right and do it right. And my doctor would actually get pissed because he wanted me to track, but I know what a 6 ounce piece of chicken or less looks like. I know what the green you can eat as many greens as you want. I know what that all looks like. And he's actually my doctor's actually mad at me. He wanted me to have that 30 down before the year was up. And I'm
Sure.
like, but I told him like he didn't yell at me, but he was disappointed in me like 4 or 5 months ago. Because I'm supposed to get on the treadmill. So we don't work out the treadmill only. We're just trying to get down to a weight and then add weight training in. And I won't get on the treadmill. I've tried. I don't like it. It's boring, and you're supposed to do an
You don't
incline.
like doing it.
I
If you're eating
exactly, and
properly, you
I
don't have
live
to.
in this office, so I don't get blue sky. I need blue sky, or at least
Sure.
out. I need fresh air, and so I just told him. I said, I'm not getting on that goddamn treadmill. I'm walking every day, and so. And he's like, and he would give me his rebuttal. Oh, that's not incline. That's not. I said, I don't care. I
That's the
don't
thing
care.
too. You can't out train a bad diet.
Right.
Truthfully, I mean, I train like a Navy SEAL, and it's obsessive and it's crazy. People ask me, "Oh, well, is that how you lose it?" Like you, there's not many people that can even keep up with me,
Yeah.
and that's just because I have fun now. I regained my life, and I got kids in the military. I'm almost trying to compete with them sometimes, and I'm nuts,
Yeah.
and I'm just having fun. And to me, it's like a lifestyle. Like it feeds into it. I eat better. I compete better. It's like a circle. But truthfully, if I was relying on this behind me to stay healthy and ate like a teenager, the second I got hurt, I'm going to get fat again. The
Yeah.
second I get a little bit older, I'm turning 55 in a month and a half. There's
Yeah.
no way I could live like that. So it's all about what you eat and how you eat. And you got that figured out. So if you lost all that weight like that organically, that's the way that you're going to sustain it. And that's how
Exactly.
I sustained it for 5 years because I eat properly. You know what I mean? This is all fun and fluff.
I need
It's
to
all
I need
fun
to
and
help
fluff.
you a little bit. You should go get that book and you should read it because
I do actually, because everything to me is about wellness. I got that grandchild on the way.
yep.
I hate Disney and I hate walking around in the heat. My wife loves it. I
Yeah.
want to be that grandfather that's chasing that kid around.
Yeah.
At 70, be able to pick him up and then pick her up
Yeah,
and
because
go
lifestyle you're
people.
leaving now, you're not gonna be able to sustain that.
What's that?
You're not gonna be able to sustain the lifestyle as badass as you are right now as we get older.
No
Like
way.
you're not. I mean, and I'm not judging you, and I know you feel that from me, but that's
There's
why you
no
got to
way.
learn. You got to learn to eat, and then own that, and then it's okay to splurge a little bit. But the way
I
I eat
spent three
now,
hours in an MMA gym yesterday. In the last hour, I
oh
was
yeah,
learning
it's
judo
insane.
takedowns by 30 of them. There's
Yeah.
no way I can't
That's your
maintain
addictive
that for a week.
personality. That's your addictive
I'm a crazy
personality.
person.
Yeah, it's your addictive personality. That's
And I
okay.
know that I can't maintain that physically.
Yeah.
You get hurt, you're out. So it's all about nutrition. And you have to relearn that. And people ask me like that, how do you do this? How do you do this? You try to tell them, you can't take a shot and eat McDonald's.
Right.
You have to learn how to eat. You have to adjust your lifestyle. I know so many people that they'll take the shots and they're still boozing up on the weekends.
Oh, for
So
sure.
you've eaten clean all week, and then the weekend you're sitting at
You
the
blow
bar,
it.
you're
I'll
getting
start
loaded.
back on Monday. God, I
Yeah,
can't. That was my mom's famous saying. I'll start back on Monday. Screwed it up on Friday, and I'll start back on Monday. And then she'd pick up. My mom was this. My mom was the hot mom, and then she married my stepdad when I was well, she met him when I was a senior in high school, and she's gotten pretty overweight. And I mean, she's not like obscene, but she's over for her little frame. She's over. She knows it, and but it back to so here's what I stopped. I don't say this anymore because it scares people away. I don't say the word nutrition. Because it just people just think, oh, that's now I have to study shit. I got to do it. So I don't. I say, listen, I just learned how to eat, and I don't like back. I don't ever open that book. So I read that book once. I've never opened it since, except for if I was showing somebody. I learned how to eat my portions, my mini meals, which are snacks. I learned how to get that healthy lifestyle of what to eat. So like I'm not on a diet.
no,
Not at all.
me neither.
This is
Me
just how I
neither.
eat. I'm not on any binging thing. I don't get well, I still get cravings, but I don't get cravings.
Because
Right?
if you
Like
don't
so
let it in, it doesn't bother you.
yeah,
You
but if I
start eating
do, it's
sugar,
not a
it's
big deal and I
wrong.
can take it off, but I really don't. Like here was I gained weight not from waking up until 5 o'clock. I gained all my weight 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. to midnight. Got home and ate. And now this is how I got fat. I'll tell you. My wife, we're a family dinner people. We sit down and eat dinner every night unless there's a function where we're away. So I mean, when we had 5 kids in the house, it was mandatory Sunday night. But then every night, and then if the kids were cars and they were, doing their own thing, whatever, they didn't have to. But Sunday night they had to. But most of the time they were there. And we just would, I would, I would eat that. I would have dessert. Within an hour, I would eat all the leftovers, and I would have another dessert. And then before I went to bed, I had something else. I did that for 25 years.
Me too.
That's exactly what I did. Now, waking up till 5 o'clock, normal breakfast, normal snacks if I had one, normal lunch. But then dinner, but after 5 o'clock, it was obscene. It was a gluttony. It was pure gluttony. And every day I'm self sabotaging. And this is where we talk about where how we feel different now. I mean, I could see it on you when I see you. I see it on your posts and stuff. There's a happiness that you find. And
Peace.
and the thing about the people, I'm going to cry. The thing and the pain that you're going through is not that hard to solve it.
No, it's not.
You find it in yourself. You get help. You can call me, you can call Steve,
Yeah,
and we will help you. And there's no cost.
yeah,
It's true.
it's true.
So I didn't think I'd get emotional, but that is tough. I mean, I was a wrestler. So I was a varsity wrestler, and it was I haven't had a I didn't have a weight problem, but I had that weight. Well, you're going through right now, doing the stupid shit to get down to some dumb weight you can't
Yeah.
sustain to fight. Same thing with wrestling. I mean, I wrestled since second grade. I was always trying to be 15 pounds lighter than my body was supposed to be, which is so unhealthy.
I don't
And
go
so,
that far because I'm an old man. I'm just trying to have fun.
yeah, well, I did that. So I
Yeah,
was
that's hard.
not a fat person in my 20s, and I didn't start becoming a little bit overweight until my 30s. And it was from my late 30s until last year was when it just went nuts. And so, but that, everybody, that pain that you're having, you don't have to have it. And and when you get it, I mean, when you find the solution, and I'm telling you, the solution is literally you can go read that book, No More Fad Diets, and then just walk to the mailbox and back. I don't know how heavy you might be if you're listening. Just walk to the mailbox, and the next day go to the next mailbox. I mean, just start that way, and just start read the book and just start trying to eat the right stuff. Even if you overeat, there's so that you know what the whole saying is a calorie is a calorie. That's total bullshit. It's total bullshit. If you eat a calorie of greens and you eat a calorie of candy, it's different. I don't care what anyone says. It does a different effect to your body. It is not the same. So that is so I know when you count calories, it does help because you're
You are
limiting.
right, because a lot of the bodybuilders I follow, they all talk about that, and there's things that I followed that I've been a lot over my head,
Yeah.
where they talk about really cutting down and really building muscle and stuff like that. And I've tried to research it. I go into that next level,
Yeah.
obsessiveness, and you're completely correct, because that is how they get that freakish build and how they get that freakish cut, is by tweaking their insulin and tweaking that stuff naturally. I'm not talking about cheating with performance drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's by eating nutrients together, partitioning them certain ways. I mean, there's ways to cheat your body naturally, and
Well,
and just by walking. The way I started, literally, because I was so physically bad off, I would go to Planet Fitness and do a 20-minute walk on the treadmill. It was just about, I do this retreat with that group, and they talk about the heaviest weight in the gym is the door.
mm, that's
The
good.
hardest rep is driving to the gym.
Yeah.
And when I was 347 pounds, was pulling up to Planet Fitness and embarrassingly walking into that gym in a tent of a shirt. And I would get on the treadmill for 20 minutes one day. And the next day I would go do the circuit. And being a guy, then when I was in the military, being able to lift weight and be able to do stuff and then all of a sudden I was putting 20 pounds in the bar and just doing it for 30 seconds
Yeah.
and hoping nobody could see me because I was mortified.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's all I did. And that's what made me the guy. And I couldn't walk to my mailbox. And last year I did a 50-mile ultra marathon.
Yeah. It's
A
awesome.
fucking badass.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why I do that shit, because it's
Yeah.
like I should be dead. And like you were just crying. My
Mhm.
first race, I did a 5K, and I crossed that finish. And I still, every time I cross the finish line, I'm bawling. And it's funny because I got sober and I lost that 350-pound body. Every single race I do, I am crying. And I think about how free I am from the bottle, how free I am from that body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all I want to do is share it.
It's
I tell
exactly why we're
people,
here.
I tell
I
people
mean,
all the time, if you need help, call me. And I don't want nothing out of it. As a matter of fact, we started a podcast. Actually, me and a friend of mine, a sober podcast, Sober Edge. We haven't done the whole website thing yet, but it's the Sober Edge podcast. It's on Instagram right now. And we just did one very unscripted, very unpolished
yeah.
video. And we're starting doing it. We're just going to start with both of our stories the next couple of weeks. And that's what it's about. Just helping people get out of
No.
addiction, and which is food addiction, physical addiction. And to us is about routine, replacing, you were talking about your night routine, that was a comfort routine with your family, which is beautiful. You know what I mean? And like for me, that nighttime routine of killing myself with the bottle or killing myself just with food, now is replaced with, setting myself up for the next day. Like we get our trucks ready at the industry, getting everything ready for the
Yeah.
morning after
Yeah.
is getting myself ready for the morning. And then I have a new routine to set myself up for the day. And when I set myself up for the day properly, in recovery, we talk about setting ourselves up in recovery, getting out of drugs and alcohol. I
Yeah.
mean, drugs aren't my thing, but alcohol was. We talk about getting out of bed, making your bed, hitting your knees, saying a prayer, setting your mind right. You know what I mean? Because the drunk gets out of bed first. He's an honorary person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And good luck starting your day like that. And then moving forward, accountability, calling 3 people. To me, it's getting out of bed. First things first, you set that alarm. And I have a long commute, so I get up at 3:45 every single day. And I don't curse that alarm anymore. I get out of bed, I hit my feet, and I'm like, this badass 55-year-old man is going to get up and do more shit before the world wakes up, just because I can. You know what I mean? And that sets my tone. That's my first thing I do in the morning is I don't break that promise I set to myself the night before. I'm getting out of bed. You know what I mean? I set my tone. I got my gym clothes ready to go. And if I'm too beat up from the nonsense I did the day before, I get to go to work instead, or I'll sleep in because I don't make excuses for myself anymore. If I'm too tired, I sleep in, you know, and then I go to the gym and my prayer and meditation is in the weight room, and that's where I get my head straight. And then I get my breakfast. I make sure I eat a ton of protein, and I do eat and I set myself up there and I'm at work and I typically have more done in that morning before anybody's even awake. And I set so many wins up before anybody's even there. When I walk in that door at work, I am so full of fire and that spreads to everybody there. Where before I walked in there miserable. After 30 years in business, you hate the place. It kills you. It's consuming your soul. Now at least I'm not a miserable turd anymore. At least I'm coming in there. I'm breathing life into the place. Not all the time, but more than I used to. And it's because I breathe life into myself. So I'm waking up in the morning. If like today, I slept in. I got to see my daughter in the morning, and I wasn't an ornery prick. I was nice and kind and loving to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And something beautiful happened today in school with her, and I got to share that with her because I was a nice guy instead of a shit, hungover or tired or just beat up because I ate too many cheeseburgers last night. That routine, it just carries you, which is amazing to me, whether it be with addiction or food. When you live like that and with intention and what you're putting in your mouth, you don't want to spoil it with shit food or alcohol. You don't want to, and it carries you. So it's like feeding yourself. Like, wait a minute, I did this yesterday. I'm gonna do today, and I got these results. Tomorrow, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. It's that Groundhog Day effect and positive. It pulls you out of that negative shit that's killing you, which is amazing because when you're in it and you keep staying in it in the negative and then you wake up, you're 350 pounds, and for breakfast, you're wondering, you're going to have that bacon, egg, and cheese, you're going to eat a bullet.
Yeah.
And that's how it used to be for me every single day. And by the end of the day, I was so destroyed, I had no excuse but to either, get loaded or eat the biggest pile of shit just because I hated who I was.
Yep.
And now it's like, I come home and like, I want to come home. I walk in the door happy and not always. I mean, I don't walk on water.
This isn't a movie, so we are people.
Like, you're a better person. It's funny. Like, I know you got to feel the same way. You know what I mean? Like, you want to just give this gift to somebody because
it's painful.
So
you want to help them so much, and it comes back to that why. But I want to say something that you just said a little bit ago.
Yeah.
It's funny how we don't have the exact same story, yet I have almost the same routine. Now I don't get up at fucking 3:30 in the morning, but I did get up early. I did get up at 5:30 this morning, and I'm not the gym rat you are, and I don't have those same goals. But guess how I wake up? I wake up every day, and before I take my head off the pillow, I do my gratitude's prayer, and it's the same prayer, and I may alter it a little bit at the end, but I do that. And then I go through the whole day and I probably thank God and thank myself for having giving me the, all what I can do with my life to help more people with this gift. I mean, and I don't know where the weight loss is going. If it ever, becomes a financial thing for me, I don't even care. I mean, I'm not looking for it to be right now. I love my business coaching and I love my marketing company and all that is fine with me. But I mean, I sometimes to only help people, and this is what I've learned with coaching. Like I've tried free coaching before, that doesn't work. You don't have any value in it, right? I mean, so if you charge people, now they might, and some people won't respond, but I'd say 98% of people who ever work with me, because they're paying, they're actually going to do the action steps and show up and all that kind of stuff. But with weight loss, the accountability. So I was thankful for that, but I'm going to go back to another point.
Sure.
You can't, like alcoholism. You can live without alcohol. So you can stop it. Can't live without food.
No.
You have to eat. So that's the struggle that you're having, is that you know you have to eat. You can give up sex addiction, you can give up alcohol, you can give up drugs. You don't need any of that in your life, but you have to put food in your face every day.
Yeah, that's the hard part,
And
man.
that's the hard part. But in our world makes it so hard with so much shit out there to eat, and so easy to grab a bag of Doritos, so easy to just eat all that processed crap
Everywhere, and people want to give it to you. Like, come on,
everywhere.
you
Yeah.
just have a little bit. You already lost 100 pounds. It's just a donut, Chad. What's the big deal?
Haven't
It's
had a
not going to
donut in a
hurt
year and a
you.
half. I haven't had a donut in 14 months.
Well, donuts are my jam,
Oh,
man.
I love them too, man. Glazed all day long. I'm a simple donut man, but a lot of them if I had that chance. But you have, so that's where it comes into the education of eating.
Exactly.
It's the education. That's why this book is so powerful. Is if you read the whole thing and not half of it, you will start to do it. And I will tell you this. You said something earlier too that is a great point to bring up. Repetition. Like, I have a very boring diet actually now. It is not flavorful, and at times I'll do it. Like, I found a cauliflower crust frozen pizza, called Milton's, pepperoni. I eat that. I try to only eat half. I rarely win that one. I usually eat the whole thing, but I don't gain any weight because it's cauliflower crust. I'll add sausage and mushrooms and jalapenos at times to it, oh yeah, onions bad for weight loss. Don't eat onions. Onions are bad. Close the fat cell.
Really.
So yeah. So
My
if you
big
ever want
onion,
to,
so it's
yep, there's
good.
onions,
I'll
carrots.
avoid them.
There's stuff that you learn in the book, right? And so and I don't. So I actually just recently started putting a couple onions on my pizza. That's it, not much, but but you learn how to eat, and it becomes like I don't mind boring repetition stuff. So like I'll cook chicken breasts, cut them in half. Well, no, I'm sorry. I'll cook three chicken breasts, but I'll cut them in half. So I have six fillets sitting there. I'll eat one for dinner hot, and then I eat them cold for
I
lunch.
do the
I
same thing.
I eat it cold. I found this garlic dip from Trader Joe's that I put on it to give it a little spice. Oh, it's so good. So I went to Trader Joe's. I had a networking meeting this morning, and it was like literally a block from the Trader Joe's because it's like 30 minutes away. I went in there. I bought six of those dips because I don't go there very much. I bought six of them. And I eat the dip on the. It's kind of like a hummus,
Sure.
but it's a garlic dip, and
I'll look that up.
it's really. I'll
I
have
have
to
one
send
open
it
up
to you.
right in town
It's
here.
really. I forget the name of it. I'll have to. It's actually a Trader Joe. It's just called Trader Joe's brand in the dip section. It says garlic dip. I think that's all it says, and it's in a
It's
clear
funny. I
thing
get
with purple
chicken.
on it, and it's awesome. It's really
I eat
awesome.
chicken like that as like potato chips. Like if I'm hungry, they're in the fridge cold like that. I'm sorry
Yeah,
about that stupid
that's
dog.
okay. No
Babysit.
problem. Don't worry about it.
I leave them in the fridge just like to snack on. Just the same
Yeah.
thing.
So I needed chocolate in my life. And you're not supposed to have milk chocolate, it closes the fat cell, but dark
Yeah.
chocolate doesn't. So she came up with bonbons made out of dark chocolate and yogurt, and she fills them with she mixes yogurt and peanut butter, and then puts uh, pecans on top. I eat two or three of those a day. I don't care. It just craves that little craving that I would have to eat any chocolate. Which honestly, actually eat more chocolate now than I did before, just because I know it's on. I can eat it. It doesn't
Yeah.
hurt me. So now I'll usually have like three a day.
That's the funny thing. When you have knowledge like that, you reprogram yourself.
Yeah,
And like you reprogram your mind by learning what you could eat, what you can't. Then it's not cheating. You think about your oh, it's a cheat day. You know, you're cheating yourself. You get these negative thoughts in your mind. Like that's when you binge, and that's what I used to do when I first dieted. And now it's not like that.
yeah,
Like you're more knowledge based and how you're going about it. Where I'm more fitness based with what I'm doing, and
yeah,
I look at food as fuel now. And to me, I know if I eat certain things, I get sluggish and stuff like that. So to me, it's almost like a game. I'm almost gamifying my life. Like
right,
I, I got a really cool sports car. I'm not putting regular fuel in it. I
yeah,
got to put super in it, because
yeah,
I need to roast the car next to me.
yeah.
I know what I could eat and what I can't eat, and it changes the game. It really does, and it makes it easier. You know.
Well, it takes so even when you're first starting, it takes the depression out of it because now
Yes.
you have the system.
Yes.
So you've never, everyone, if you're overweight, you've never had the system of how to lose weight and then maintain it. And so, like my mom asked me, which was a funny question, uh, when I gave her the book, she said, "Well, when I lose all the weight, can I go back to eating like I did before?" And I just laughed. I said, "Mom,
Why would you want
why
to?
would you do that?"
That's
And,
like every time I quit drinking for 6 to 8 months.
well,
Well, I'm going to go back to doing shots with the idiots at the
I,
local bar. Why would I want to go back to that?
I know, but it's my mom's so funny. It's just like, and I've had other people say the same thing, and it's just
Of
like,
course.
when you get to the lifestyle and you lose 50, 60, 100 pounds, you'll never want to go back to that before. I mean, I don't know many people. We're not talking Biggest Loser here where they put you to death camp and for a month and a half, send you home for 4 or 5 months, then you lost 200 pounds, and then all of a sudden they all gain it all back because that's not sustainable because they really don't really teach them really how to eat. They say they do, but they don't. Because if they did, you wouldn't have all this, the bad stories that they have. With me, I have had no, in 14 months, I've had not one, 13 months, not one setback. Now, I have faltered.
Of course.
So if I faltered before, it was just game over. Fuck it.
Yes.
Now it's like, I don't even care. All right. Tomorrow, I'll just go back to it's not even a conscious, so it becomes non-conscious.
Yeah.
It's like unconscious. I just go back to eating tomorrow like I do. Like we were in Kansas City. I had barbecue twice. We went to that Jack, whatever it's called, twice.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually overeat there. I did good. They were actually out of the burnt ends the first night. And then
First hands, man. I went to
they
town
were
once
out of
or
them, and
twice.
I was trying to get them. So I ordered the shrimp and broccolini. So I didn't even eat bad. And I had a couple beers, which I'm not supposed to have beer. But I had a couple beers. I actually came home even. I didn't gain any weight.
So that's a net zero. So you did it right.
Yeah.
You know, it's
So
funny. We don't go out to eat as much as we do, and we do. Like I was telling somebody about that. We went out to a barbecue place one night, and how the mindset shifts. My wife and I went to Applebee's one night, and how I got upset. I ordered a Diet Coke, and I don't drink soda very often anymore. And I ordered Diet Coke, and they brought me a regular Coke. And I was bitching and moaning the entire meal over one Coke.
yeah.
And she's sitting there and she's looking at me, and my daughter's looking at me. And she's like, honey, that would have been about 6 Jack Diet Cokes 5 years ago. And I'm like, yeah, I know, shut up. And I know that mentally in my head. And I'm complaining about one Coke. And then the idiot in me, because I knew I was going to have dessert. I knew I would have dessert. And my daughter's like, Daddy, don't get dessert. Don't get dessert. And she's always the voice of reason. Like, she don't want, once she don't want to eat, stay. She wants to go home. She's bad enough she had to have dinner with us. Right. And now I'm a dessert fiend. I never had sweets until I lost this weight. And I'm getting the double volcano bullet, And of course, I ordered the thing, and my wife's looking at me. Really, you gonna eat the whole damn thing? And I'm like, I tracked for it. I planned for it. I had less calories Thursday, less calorie on Saturday, Friday night. I'm having this dessert, but I'm bitching about the Coke. You know what I mean? To this point, this is probably 3 years ago. I'm still making a point about this one Coca-Cola, and this poor waitress. I
Yeah.
probably sniped at her. My wife made me tip her extra because
That's funny.
you know what I mean.
Uh,
But like, you know, you gotta live with grace or whatever. But like, I don't even know where I went with that. I just did some stupid
Good
story. But
story. Doesn't matter.
you know, once you start living this lifestyle, you don't want to have that stuff. And it's funny that sometimes her and I will go out to eat, and I like bar food. You know what I mean? And I'll see something on the menu or whatever, and it's like, oh man, I'm gonna have this because it's been a while, and it's a treat. Like we had barbecue that night. Like I was with a Texan, and the burnt ends were so phenomenal. And I did not care what the calories were. I didn't care anything, and it was the most enjoyable meal I had in so long because we haven't been out in so long.
Yeah.
It didn't matter because I don't eat like that. And I burned it off the next day because my body's efficient because I don't eat it that much. And I was a little sluggish the next day. And who really cared? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you don't live on that all the time. but it still made me feel like shit. And I acknowledged in my head, I'm not living like this anymore. It's like, when you go out with the boys after you haven't drank in a long time, like, man, did I drink those beers? No wonder I don't drink like that anymore.
Right.
Or I don't enjoy cigars too much anymore. If I do smoke one, I'll smoke it and be like, next day, no wonder I don't smoke
I mean,
anymore.
I haven't gotten off that one yet. Humidor's right there.
I'll still enjoy one, but I'll complain about it the next day. You know what I mean?
Well, after the show, we cleaned up our booth. Stoner and me, Alan Rush, my brother, Terry, Mark's wife. We're sitting up at the bar, not drinking. Just we were all. Well, Alan, you were drinking. No one else was. Um, and I ordered. I ordered the zucchini. I'm trying to think. It was zucchini and mushrooms. Not thinking it's a bar. So how do you think those zucchini and mushrooms came out?
I'll fried.
Fried breaded. Just
Breaded. Yeah.
ah. And I looked at it and I'm like, are you kidding? I still ate a little bit. But I mean, then I started peeling it off. I'm like, all right, I'm just done with this shit. And so,
Yeah.
but I did, okay, a year ago, I'd ate that whole
Of
fucking
course.
massive thing and then went and had dinner an hour later, you
Of
know.
course.
And so let's just say there was 100 things in that little bit. It was actually a big basket. So let's say there were 60 things in that basket. I ate about 15. That was it. So not even that much, probably maybe 10. So we did
Progress,
really
not
well,
perfection, man. Progress, not perfection.
Yep.
And that
Uh,
whole mind shift, it carries to everything in your life. It really does.
if you listen to anything, everybody listening to this, I mean, the reason I brought this up because not only is it personal to me to have Steve on here and share our story, but to relate this to your business, I mean, Steve just told you how, I mean, he literally was about out of business, came back. I've been there several times at my business. And the one thing that we both kept saying was mindset.
Yeah, 100%, man.
It's the mindset. I mean, you can, and I just did a speech today at a networking group about mindset. And it's like happiness. It's a choice. People don't realize your mindset is a choice. Happiness is a choice. It's not given to you. Like people think all this is like given to you. You could literally, and I'm going to do extremes because it was in a book I read. Your wife could divorce you, cheat on you. You could even have a child die. And all that is horrible. And you can still be going with that. But guess what? You still can choose happiness. You still have grief and you'll still do that. But you can still get back to happiness because it's a choice, and you can still do that. But even so let's just take the non extremes just your daily life. You come home and you choose to be happy when your kid comes up to you, right? Or something happens. You choose that. That is a choice. And people don't understand that it is actually a gift to you that you've forgotten that you have that choice. People are waiting for something to make them happy, which is never going to happen because you didn't choose to be happy. And if you don't make yourself happy, no one else is going to make you happy. You like going to a comedy club in a bad mood. You come out where it's okay, and then you're right back to your bad mood before you even got home. I mean, seriously, that's what life is like. If you choose to not have a choice, a lot of people don't even realize it that they don't understand choosing happiness, choosing the mindset of winning. That's another part of this of winning is where you change your life. You might be the fattest fucking pig on the world, which both of us were. And we didn't find our happiness yet because we had to get there, but we chose to do the hard thing because it was killing us. And I know someone's listening to this that's killing you right now. You reach out to us and we will help you today. I promise you. And so, but first, you have to choose yourself. You have to read whatever material me and Steve give you. And then you have to follow up with us. Because if you don't, you're going to do half the book, put it down, and the next time you eat something, you're going to remember me because I'm going to make you right now remember me. You're going to pick that fork up, and you're going to stuff your fat face, and you're going to feel like guilty. Well, good. When you have that first time you do that after you read it, remember me saying this to you. You're going to stay fat your whole life if you don't choose yourself because you will. I know because I was that for 30 years, well, 20 years. So, Steve, it's been awesome. Thank you. And
Thanks for
so,
having me on, Chad. I appreciate it.
this was really good. If
Honest.
anybody wants to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you?
Email me, Steve at totalchimneycare.com.
There you
Best
go.
way to get back to you, definitely.
So if you don't like me, even though you're listening to my podcast, you go ahead and email Steve, and
And
then
if
we
you
will
want to
help
check
you.
out my podcast too on Instagram, it's the Sober Edge podcast on Instagram.
Sober Edge Podcast on Instagram. That's the handle right there. And so I'm not listening to that, so I'm going to. I'm going to start listening to
It's
it because
all
I,
right
I
now,
need
but
some
we're gonna put
walking
some stuff
material.
up soon.
I need some walking, listening to stuff. Joe Rogan gets old. And so, well, guys, everybody, thank you for listening to Stop Working Broke. I hope this helps you in your personal life, and always your personal life will make your business life better. So, thank you, everybody. We'll see you in the next podcast.